Hey, Murdoch families. It is so good to be able to connect with you on Tuesday. Yes, it's Tuesday. My days are getting so mixed up, as I'm sure yours are as well. So I got your survey, and if you don't know about the survey, it's located on the counseling blog under Parent Survey. Please take a minute to view it. That just gives me an idea of how I can best serve you. And the counseling department can best serve you, whether we need to reach out to you individually, or if your child wants to be part of a small group, or if you need more resources, or just want to tell us something. So please utilize that. Again, it's under the blogs where you're seeing these video lessons. It's under Parent Survey. Please just take a second. It literally will take you 2 minutes to fill out. So after reviewing the survey, a lot of people have already answered, and what they're noticing with their children is that there is some defiance going on. And maybe your child wasn't defiant before, and you're kind of wondering where this is coming from. So I have a great explanation for that and how to help you through this frustration that your child may be experiencing. So I'm going to take a minute and do what's called a share screen with you. I also posted this website under resources. It's really, really good, just to kind of give you an idea of maybe why you're seeing what you're seeing. So we're going to go ahead and pull that up. So here we have it's called the anxiety iceberg. And we've all probably heard of the iceberg, of where, you just see the tip of the iceberg, but then yet underneath the water, there's so much other things going on. And I want you to think about that in regards to your child. Or if you're a student watching this, maybe this will make a little bit more sense for you. So that we have a lot of anxiety that's maybe on the top. And as you guys can see, we had the behavior, which is anxiety. It's maybe you're just feeling tummy ache, or you're getting tired, or you're not able to sleep. There's lots of things that happen with the anxiety there. But underneath are these feelings. So maybe you're having some feelings right now of being overwhelmed, you're depressed, you may be feeling stuck, maybe you're jealous of, of maybe whoever you live with is spending more time with your siblings. Maybe you feel disrespected or offended. I know sometimes I felt helpless in this situation, like I don't know how to make it better. Insecure, not feeling good about or confident about yourself. You're uncomfortable, sad, grieving. And grieving is just experiencing the loss of normalcy, of going to school every single day, or feeling sad that, not knowing when this is going to come to an end. Maybe you're really lonely right now because you can't see your friends, or you can't see your teachers. You're tired. Frustrated is a big one. Maybe all the schoolwork is just really overwhelming for you. So you're frustrated and confused. I'm confused right now. I don't know which way is up or down. So of course, when we have all of these feelings that are underneath the anxiety iceberg. So here's like the tip of the iceberg. And as we scroll down, we see all of these feelings underneath. So what that can look like is right here. We go to the next little screen. We see other behaviors. We see maybe you're angry, or your child's angry. Maybe they're having, again, like sleep issues. Maybe your child is over planning, of like having to have that, okay, yellow is from 8:30 to 9:30, I do this. And then green, 10 to 10:30, I do this, like over planning, over scheduling their day, maybe avoiding doing work, or avoiding doing chores, or avoiding doing anything. And we have avoidance right here, or over planning. We have lack of focus. They don't know what to do. They're just kind of floating around, and you may be feeling like you're floating around in space. And then here's our big one, defiance. You can't make me do anything, or I refuse to do that. Defiance can be passive, where it can be you tell your child to do something and they just kind of ignore it and procrastinate, or it can be, overt, where it is, no, you can't make me do that, or maybe having an attitude. So that's defiance, and that's all stemming from anxiety. Um, and then we have negativity, just being negative. And so again, those come from all those feelings from underneath. So we go through this website, and you know what? Your child might have difficulty sleeping. So it keeps their thoughts are up at night, and all these thoughts that are running through their little brains, or they might have difficult sleeping. You may find yourself waking up at 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, tossing and turning, or maybe you're having a hard time getting back to sleep. Good sleep hygiene is important for this one. So good sleep hygiene is, again, turning off electronics about an hour before you go to bed. And I know a lot of you like to go to sleep listening or watching something on TV, but it isn't good for your brain, because what your brain is getting is all of those blue waves from the phone or from a TV, and it messes up your rhythm, your sleeping rhythm. So really trying to cut off the TV an hour before bed. And then just reading instead, taking a warm bath, maybe drinking some chamomile tea if you have it, and just relaxing right before you go to bed. That's good sleep hygiene is important during this time. And then going to bed and waking up at the same time. And you can sleep longer than you normally would on a school day. Of course, it's just trying to go to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time is going to really help your rhythm. Whether that's going to bed at 10 and waking up at 8, or going to bed at 9 and waking up at 8, or going to bed at 8 and waking up at 7, that's up to you and your family, but try to make it that we're on the same time every day. You're going to see when you're anxious, some kids get angry, and you may be getting angry. But the reason why that kind of happens is that either they are overestimating their skill or underestimating their coping skill. That means overestimation is like, I've got this, I should be able to handle this, like this isn't a big deal. And then so that when the schoolwork is too hard, or when something is too hard, or they want to go out, anger is going to pop up. Or underestimating, they don't have coping skills. And a coping skill is just a way of dealing with the anxiety. I can't handle this. And then they just start to unravel, and then that child, or you as a child, may get angry. That's why that happens. So when you don't have the skills to manage your anxiety, anger can really, really pop up. And again, anger also shares the same part of your brain that is the fight or flight. So you have what's called, we talked a little bit about this, cortisol running through your bodies, in your brains. That's the stress hormones. And it can make you fight, flight, or freeze. So fight, and that's the anger coming out. Flight, which is fleeing or running away, or freezing. I don't want to do anything, okay? So when we're anxious, that part of the brain is definitely activated. And here we go to defiance. So when children are feeling out of control, just like, as a family, you're probably feeling a little bit out of control. They need to have the security and comfort. They need to feel like they are in control of something. So when your child is being defiant, or when you feel like, you don't want to do anything, that defiance is really, really, showing that you need to give your child some kind of control. Over here with this one, with defiance, it's giving them choices. Hey, do you want spaghetti, or do you want for dinner, or do you want nachos? That's all we've been eating at our house, so that's what I can kind of come up with. Or, hey, do you want to wear your pajamas all day, or do you want to get dressed today? Or do you want to play this board game tonight with the family, or that board game? Giving choices, comforting your child when they're defiant. Sometimes it's hard because we just want, as caregivers, we just want to say, hey, you need to stop that. But really what your child needs is comfort and security and a sense of control in this situation. It could be like, hey, maybe like as a family, y'all been watching way too much news. Hey, ask your child, is this too much news making you feel out of control right now? So maybe limiting that as well. Chandeliering, this is a really, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, is just when your child just goes off the deep end, starts having a temper tantrum for no reason at all. And that really is you may make an innocent comment of just saying, hey, I like your hair, and then they just lose, that child, or you as a child might just like totally go off and have a temper tantrum and not understand, or just get really upset with whoever said it. That's because on the inside, they have reached their point of just losing all control. So that means that they have kind of risen, the stress has risen all the way up to the top, and it just blows like a cap, and it just like a top, it just goes off. So they have to let off that steam has got to come out. So when you just made a little comment and then all of a sudden, oh, sorry guys. When your child loses like control, that's what's happening there. A lack of focus. So again, your child or may have ADHD, or even if they don't have ADHD, there's that hyperactivity. There's that they are so caught up in their anxiety that that they aren't able to really lose that focus. They're trying to do their schoolwork and they just can't focus. That doesn't mean your child does have ADHD. It doesn't. It just may mean that they're really anxious and their brain is in another thought and somewhere else, and that they aren't able to focus on their assignment because they are so anxious. So really that lack of focus. Now, sometimes if you know your child has been diagnosed with ADHD, and then we throw in anxiety on top of that, that can look very different. The attention and focus might even worsen, even though they are, you've been doing the strategies that you've learned for how to handle that. So just be aware that during this time of uncertainty, that anxiety can look like lack of focus. Doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with your child. Or if your child does, say, have ADHD, like my son, the attention and focus might not, where he was able to focus a little bit more, now he isn't really able to do that as much. So be aware of that. Avoidance. So again, your child might be avoiding things that make them uncomfortable. So I like this one part. If you're trying to avoid getting sick, you may wash your hands repeatedly during the day. If you're avoiding a person that makes you feel uncomfortable, you may skip a meeting or not, or avoid doing schoolwork. So you may see them washing their hands more. You may see them like doing things that they don't want to get sick of, isolating themselves more. It's a time to check in with your child. Again, they may just avoid doing schoolwork. So that's anxiety cropping up again. And then we have negativity. That happens when, when someone is overly negative. They have negative thoughts that are running through their brain. They're not able to stop the negative thought pattern that is happening. So with this one, I suggest of saying, if they're screaming, I just can't do this work, well, you just can't do it yet. And we're going to talk more about growth mindset as we start to get into the schoolwork a little bit more, maybe week 3 of doing some growth mindset of things that you can say when your child is being negative, some positive messages that you could help them replay in their tape. Again, this all goes back to the social emotional learning of where they are not really able to change that negative thought pattern. Over planning. All right. These are our children who are just like have to plan their day. It has to go this certain way. It has to do, things have to go just right. So they kind of just go deep into all this of maybe they're planning, and sometimes it can look good. Oh, mom, I'll help you plan all the meals for this week. Or I will help you plan everything that we need to do for our digital learning days. And where that can seem good, it is sometimes can bring even more stress and anxiety. So maybe helping your child, you know, I know that they're just, again, it's all about sense of control of what they can control and what they can't control. And right now in their lives, there's so much that they can't control that over planning may crop up. And you know what, to a certain extent, allow them to kind of gain that locus of control, what we call that sense of control back, but also making sure that you're not, it is not becoming interfering with their anxiety, or they aren't able to let things go, because then it's kind of crossed the line into an unhealthy coping strategy. So these are just some great things that, and again, I shared the website with you guys so you can look more into detail. I think it's wonderful to kind of figure out what anxiety does and what it looks like that you may not have known about. Again, I'm Andy Hodgen. I'm the school counselor for kindergarten and third grade. If I've already had a lot of parents and done a lot of Zoom conferences. If your child is experiencing anxiety, we're going to start an anxiety small group next week. We just got to get some dates and times for kids that would work out. And we're going to try to do some anxiety small groups for you and your child, just to be able to release some of the stuff that's going on. And so we'll get more details onto you with you. But if you want to sign up for a small group, go to the parent survey and go ahead and just, there is a place where you can sign up for a small group. I've been doing Zoom conference calls. Again, I'm available for you to do a Zoom conference call, to talk to you, and would really love to enjoy that. So I hope you guys are having a great day. And again, I'm here to help support you and just help you and your family. I hope you guys, again, happy Tuesday, and we will chat soon.